And welcome back to the sesquicentennial Small Talk Olympics, presented by Four Loko.
How does Susan know this little tiny
Guys, unbelievable stuff.
My issue is you use that same demeanor in every game during these Olympiads.
Or you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Large, today we have somewhat of a somber occasion. Small talk, the funeral.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough, I think, because you have to reserve yourself a little bit. We have a couple of contestants who aren't known for their reservation. And we have a couple of contestants who haven't been doing well or are more soft-spoken, so maybe they rise to the top. I think we could see a little shift in power by the end of this contest.
And let's get to our first two competitors. Two competitors who have been doing fantastic throughout this entire competition, Nick and Jeff Vibert.
But again, two jokesters, and now they're coming into a funeral. This is a huge undertaking. Let's hope they don't make a grave mistake.
Fantastic stuff from Large. That's why you're in the booth.
Thanks.
And that's why you could teach a little something to the youth. So, Vibs, if you're ready, give that thing a spin. Looks like they'll be making small talk about what is that bitch-ass Susan from accounting doing here? 30 seconds are on the clock, the funeral arrangements have been made, and as it is with every good funeral, the Four Lokos are in hand. Gentlemen, when you're ready, the time is yours.
Man, I can't believe Brian is gone so soon. He's just here with us yet. Is that Susan from accounting?
How does Susan know this little tiny
She was
this
just
tiny little
She was talking shit about that.
I hated that.
Fucking hated it so much.
My
She
God.
called it the
Well, it is.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really know science that well.
Right, of
Just like Susan. She doesn't know math or science.
She's just here for the food. She's here for the Four Lokos.
She's had 4 turkeys.
And time! Interesting stratagem by the two of them.
I found myself very invested in what they were saying. And even though I said we have to keep a somber note, I think they struck a balance where they actually put the fun in the funeral.
Let's see what Tommy has to say and the rest of the judges.
I loved it. I didn't like it. I loved it.
Turkey.
I think that it's a difficult topic, you know, a funeral. Nick, the daringness to go with the Not everyone can pull that off. You did. Nick, you pulled it off extremely well. Both of you, your improv chops really showed brilliant execution. The difficulty, Nick got the edge because he is the one that took it to the route. Execution, both perfect nines. Perfect nines. Artistry, Dibs gets the edge. I liked his acting. A perfect 9. I was in a round 9. Okay. Artistry, Vibs gets the edge. I liked his acting just a little bit more, but great artistry overall. I haven't tallied these up, but you're both going to be in that 26 range. Guys, unbelievable stuff. One of the funniest, most entertaining, I think, trials we've had so far in these Olympics.
Kelly, what do you think?
Absolutely fantastic. I give you both the same score of 8 for difficulty because you were flowing with it no matter what was thrown at you. Nick threw out the thing, Viz just went right along with it. Not a question, not a hesitation. I appreciate the shit out of that. You guys really bounced off each other well. I give you both an 8.5 for artistry. I think that you flowed with that conversation well, just like I said. I also think that the passion behind it, I could feel the hatred for that bitch Susan in accounting. I could feel it, and I really appreciated that. As far as execution goes, Nick, 7.9, so good. Vibs, 8.0, because again, you look really handsome today.
What the fuck?
Thanks.
Nate, you better make up for this and you'll get a head kiss too.
Kiss you on your mouth. Yeah, I thought you guys did a good job. Nick, I like that you brought up the Vibs. I would have liked to see you one-up him on the maybe Susan fucked the I don't know. Something like that. Something to make it more difficult. Something to be more daring. I liked that you flowed with him. You went along with it.
She's a bitch. She's not a monster.
Your perception. Execution, I thought you guys both did very well. There was no dead air. I liked where both your heads were at. And artistry, Vibs, your acting chops, you're becoming an actor in front of our eyes. Nick, you're fine too.
Thank you.
You don't look handsome today.
I don't think so. I do.
I love funerals as much as everybody, a lot. So good job, guys.
Interesting.
We don't know how we did. He didn't tell us how we did.
Don't worry about it.
It seemed like the two of them really played well off of one another, adequate scene partners that elevated the other as they spoke, Large.
We're just going to go over the fact that Nate mentioned fucking a
I was trying to avoid it.
Large, I learned that from you.
Let's move on.
Our next competitors are Rudy against Eddie.
I'm going to predict that these two wind up being more than just partners in small talk. They wind up being pretty close friends.
Rudy, if you're ready, spin the wheel. The boys will be talking about the coffin. I'm gonna have to crack a Four Loko for this one. We got 30 seconds on the clock. Fellas, have at it.
I don't know about you, but I think flames, a little tacky.
I absolutely agree, actually. It also doesn't only have flames, it has people's signature on it. It's just going to smear when it goes down.
Yeah, no, I kind of baited you into that. You're talking about a dead person, bro. That's kind of fucked up.
Well, we're talking about their coffin, not about the dead person.
I know, but that's like that's where they're going to live for the rest of their life. You just made fun of their home, bro.
That's their bed. I can't make fun of your bed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would I make fun of your bed? Probably not if I was in your house.
You just made fun of their bed. You talk about the flames being tacky.
That's time. Wow, interesting strategy by Rudy. I've never seen someone play defense in small talk.
He was combatant. He hasn't been combatant. He's been what I say, smooth on the other side of the pillow.
I wonder how the judges felt, Tommy.
Eddie. I've been tough on you. Not because I want to be mean, but because I care. I'm akin to a King Richard Williams. Well, today, Serena, you won Wimbledon. That was a masterful performance. It was one of the better performances I've seen so far today in the Small Talk Olympics. That's what you're capable of. Every single time you step down in this fucking field, that's what you're capable of. Unbelievable job.
Kelly.
High scores.
It's going to be difficult to follow up the passion that came with that, so thank you, Tommy, for that. Difficulty, Eddie, 7.2. Rudy, I gave you a little edge, 7.4 there. Execution, both of you, 8 flat. Fantastic. Artistry, 7.1 from Eddie, 7.3 for Rudy because of that little jab, little pushback. So I appreciate the both of you for that. Nicely done.
Nate.
So, Rudy, I appreciated you picking the fight. Eddie, I'd like that you were like, hey, we're at a funeral, like, why are we doing this? And I'd like that you didn't let off the gas. I could see that happening at your father's funeral, so good job, guys.
Large, it seems like the judges were giving Rudy pretty high marks in some areas. You might have disagreed?
I did. So this is a time where I'm going the other side. I agree with Tommy. Obviously, Tommy was on the right side of history here by giving more credit to Eddie than to Rudy. And I really don't know if the other judges understand, and you've used these words before, gravitas. What happens in and around a coffin?
The story of Eddie's comeback in this is really something to behold. He really held his own in dire circumstances.
It just goes to prove that Eddie is a morning person. Morning.
Ugh. Very nice, Large. The Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko, and we're at a funeral with publicity and Coach Doug. In lieu of flowers, give us some small talk and spin the wheel. And the two of them will be small talking at the funeral about the last time that they saw each other. It's a somber tone. We have 30 seconds on the clock. It's on you.
I can't believe I haven't seen you since I was just telling you we're from the same area, Belleville. Yeah. My grandpa, he ran a flower shop in Belleville. And it's so weird to see you again in these circumstances.
It's tough. It really is. I remember we were actually talking to Anthony Rizzo, and I was telling him about the pastries. And with
Frank. He couldn't even make the flowers for his own funeral because he's no longer here.
But the pastries are good, though. And last time.
And that's time. Wow. That tugged at my heartstrings.
Wow. Did you see what I see?
I might have.
Did you saw what I saw?
I might have.
Did you see what I saw?
I might have.
Doug pull out the pastry thing, a little self-deprecating type thing at the end. Probably the line of the day.
Tommy, over to you.
Yes. a little confused. I left a little confused with when exactly the last time you saw each other was. It seemed like maybe it was at your grandpa's pastry shop. Then it seemed like your grandpa was dead. Anthony Rizzo was there. A little confused. However, some things I liked. Doug's, the pastry line, it did steal the day. Alyssa, your acting was very good. I really believed that you were upset your grandpa died. It's not the most inspiring effort we saw today. The other groups really knocked it out of the park, but I thought it was good enough. I don't think it's good enough where either of you will medal in this round, but you're in the 6 to 8 range in pretty much all these categories. Your worst thing here is you went up against some really stiff competition earlier.
Kelly?
I think that the topic itself was pretty difficult. I gave you each a 7.2 for that category. I think that trying to think of a time that you last saw each other when you guys don't talk a whole lot, it's something to be said. I think the execution was excellent. Alyssa, I gave you a 7.5. I felt the emotion from those tears. I felt that feeling in your throat where you are just about to cry and you're trying not to while you have a conversation. Perfection. Doug's, I give you a 6.9. You also had a lot of emotion behind you. I appreciated that. I'll give you both a 7.1 for artistry. I think that the conversation was okay. I think it was headed in a good direction. If you had a little more time, maybe it would have been a little more well-rounded. Nicely done.
Nate?
Yeah, I mean, that was what it was. It was fine. It was very average across the board for both of you. Alyssa, I think you shined a little bit more. I think your acting chops were a little more than Doug's. Doug's, I appreciated that you didn't go overboard because you knew that you were at a funeral, and at a funeral you don't want to, be excitable. So I like that you stayed mellow. My issue is you use that same demeanor in every game during these Olympiads. So I guess that's just your demeanor overall. So not a whole lot of acting there, not a whole lot of...
Or you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, I'm the judge and you barely work here, so maybe I do. So overall, it was okay. Neither of you will medal, but it wasn't, it was what it was. It was average.
Small talk that turns into big talk.
Yes.
A little bit of firing back and forth. I was impressed with both of these competitors, how they acquitted themselves and the way that they attacked the challenge.
I think at the end, maybe Doug's just said what we were all thinking.
The judges have made their decision, the scores are in, and the medals are ready to be awarded. What do you think of how these people acquitted themselves at a funeral large?
I thought this one was cut and dry. The way those two guys came out of the gate, Vibs and Nick, really set the bar high, and no one could jump over that bar. And in the end, the judges got it right. When we had that Eddie and Rudy face-off, we were both under the impression that Eddie may have gotten the better end of it, and it seems like he's being rewarded with a medal.
Exactly. Eddie's second medal of the competition. A gold already, this time a bronze. Eddie ascends the podium in third place. Beautiful job by Eddie. In second place, as we said, Vibs going head-to-head with Nick. His fourth medal, his second silver to go along with a gold and a bronze. If you're keeping track at home, that's about 12 medal points, and he'll be in the running for the high medal count. But right now, in first place, not only in this competition, but in the entire Small Talk Olympics, is Nick Turaney. 2 golds, 3 bronzes, and a medal just about every time. The only thing he's struggled with is getting onto that podium. Nick Turaney. There you go, Nick. First place, and that's 13 points overall. The Small Talk Olympics unfolding beautifully and always presented by Four Loko.